Hello, lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't met me before, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Laura. In today's video, I am just having a little bit of makeup therapy. Nothing serious, just chatting about some things that have been on my mind lately, things regarding aging, fashion, body confidence, that sort of thing. Um, wasn't feeling particularly wonderful when I was sat down here today, and I knew I just wanted to have a little bit of makeup therapy. I had really no idea what I wanted to do look wise, but I knew that I wanted to use a turquoise eyeshadow, and I've gone for something quite editorial, quite messy. Um, Following on from the theme of my last video, and the palette that I'm using today is the I Heart Revolution Tasty Watermelon palette I have used before, but only once, and I avoided the really fun shades. So yeah, this is the look that I have created. I've kept everything else fairly pared back and minimal, and yeah, if you want to see me create this look to just smear some fun eyeshadows across my eyes, then please do keep watching. Okay, so I wasn't planning on filming today, but I'm not having the best of days, and filming always makes me feel better and cheers me up. But because I wasn't planning on filming, I genuinely have no idea what look I want to do, what I want to talk about, nothing. So, my lovely friend who I appreciate more than she'll ever know, Becky, who I met through YouTube, left a comment on my last video when I did my colourful look with the Tasty Pineapple palette that she was screaming at the screen for me to use the turquoise shimmer shadow in that palette. And the reason I didn't use it was because I was planning on using blue in another look. But I thought, in honour of Becky, I would pull out another Tasty palette. This is the Tasty Watermelon palette and has quite a few beautiful turquoisey blues and greens. So I thought I would use that today. And then in case I want any more, I've also pulled out my mini Tasty Avocado palette. I haven't used this one, but I have used the Tasty Watermelon. And in my previous video, I also mentioned that I would be sharing my thoughts on fashion, style, aging, all that sort of thing in an upcoming video. I hadn't planned on obviously talking about all that today, but I thought I might as well. It'll give me something to base the video around. So, I have obviously done my brows and I've just concealed around them. Now I'm going to prime my skin, and for that, my skin is feeling quite sore and sensitive today. I'm going to use the Hydra Bubble Healthy Skin Primer Serum from Revolution, just to give my skin an extra layer of hydration, and it's not anything over the top, it's quite gentle. Okay, and just off camera, I have just done my under eye line fix smoothing eye primer and my under eye brightener, both from Revolution. And for my foundation today, I'm going to be doing a bit of a concoction. I'm going to be taking a pump of the Maybelline Superstay. This is the not the original formula, but it's a formula that is no longer available anymore. This is the 24-hour full coverage foundation in the shade number 3 True Ivory. And then to thin that out a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of the Lacura Hydrating Tinted Moisturiser. This is in shade 1 and it is too dark for me. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of my Revolution Bright Light Bronzing Drops in the shade Scorched Light Medium. I'm just going to make a concoction on the back of my hand and slap that on my face. And while I'm doing that, I'll talk to you about aging, fashion, style, everything that's been in my little brain box of late. Okay, so I have been wanting to make a video talking about this for probably since last year. Um, I I haven't written anything down, so this is definitely going to be very disjointed and free flowing. But I do think that with it being like that, you're getting like my brain dump, like my honest thoughts about everything. So, obviously, anybody who watches my channel knows that I'm 40 years old. I am very plus size. I've always been uh, a lot bigger than most people since I was a child. Um, I also have chronic illness. I suffer with severe endometriosis. I have fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and other issues as well. Um, my illnesses got sort of really bad and started to affect my life very badly around probably 2017 onwards, and then got really bad sort of around lockdown time. That's when I noticed, uh, well, it was before that, so sort of like 2019 is when I really started noticing um, my life becoming unrecognisable to how it had been. I always used to be very into fashion. I started off on social media doing plus size fashion. Um, I was sort of part of the earlier plus size blogging community. Used to share my outfits online, my experience with like shopping as a plus sized person, um, all of that sort of thing. I had a blog and then moved on to like Facebook and Instagram when all that started to become popular. Um, Fashion was always a huge part of my life. Um, I loved it just as much as makeup. Um, and I never had an issue with finding nice clothes, putting outfits together. I was always complimented on my clothes and my style. And I always just felt really confident. Like anytime I went out somewhere or, you know, had occasion to dress up or even just going out for like normal social occasions, I always felt really confident in what I wore. I never had sort of an issue like with my confidence being bigger. Um, you know, I was always told that you know, dressed my body well, I carried myself really well, you know, I looked after myself, even though people will say that if you're plus size, you don't look after yourself very well. I think that's absolute rubbish. You know, I always looked after my hair, had beauty treatments, you know, all that sort of thing. And I was confident. Never had those moments of, oh God, I don't know what to wear, or I hate how I look, or anything like that, until I would say around lockdown sort of really uh, kicked me on my butt, and I never really got back up again. When we didn't need to get dressed up and things like that, and my health was taking a massive decline. My life was upended, all that sort of thing. Fashion really just became not a priority. I used to work in fashion before I got into finance. That's what I was doing. Um, and then even after finance, I went back into fashion for a little bit, but that didn't work out. And I just have I've come to that point, and it's not age, although I do think now that has some to do with it. I've just reached a point in life where it's like my body's alien to me. My body, my style, my identity all feels as though it's belongs to somebody else, and like I know what I like, and I know what styles I like and that sort of thing, but translating that onto my body is a problem. I used to shop for clothes all the time. Fashion, I'd buy clothes more than makeup. And then I think that's why makeup became so important to me, even though it always was, but it's definitely become more important like over the last, say, 5 years. Makeup always fits. You know, I can always buy the most on trend viral makeup product, and I won't have the issue of, oh, they don't sell that in my size, or that won't suit my body shape, or that sort of thing. And I definitely noticed in myself that over the last 5 years that um I've lost a bit of interest, I suppose, in how I look, and a lot of it has to do with accessibility, like being able to go out shopping and for fashion and things. I think the plus size fashion industry has taken massive steps backwards compared to what it was. I mean, in 2025, it feels like there's even less plus size fashion than there was 10 years ago. And the places that used to be my go-tos for fashion, I go on now and I'm like, what the hell is this offering? Like, you've either got to be a certain body type and like a certain style, i.e., mini skirts and having your booblers out and all of that sort of thing, or frankly, really frumpy, old fashioned stuff that I'm 40 years old and I still wouldn't want to wear it. I think it's a bit of a sort of like a combination of a lot of things that have led to me feeling completely lost and adrift when it comes to fashion and personal style. I've mentioned in another video that I definitely have kind of a uniform when it comes to my fashion choices. I'm one of these people that if I find something that I like and is comfortable and I feel good in it, then I will literally buy it in every single colour that it comes in, every pattern, everything. Um, because I have got something that I can rely on and that I haven't got to think too much about. And the things that have sort of like become my uniform, my staples, are real basic items. Like I wear these t-shirts from Yours Clothing that I have in like literally every colour you can imagine. And like in summer they do short sleeved, and then in winter they do a long sleeve version. And literally I wear those, and then I'll wear wide leg like palazzo pants or mum jeans. Um, I'm having to keep stopping because I'm getting really self conscious because there's a lot of people walking by tonight on evening walks. So I keep getting a bit embarrassed, so I have to stop talking. So yeah, and it feels like my body isn't mine anymore. Like I don't know how to dress my proportions. I don't know what styles suit me, what colours suit me. I know that I love 70s boho and country and western style clothing. I love that, and I also love a bit of like a rocky edge, like band t-shirts, mum jeans, that sort of thing. But whenever I try and put those things on my body, I feel like I don't look right, or I don't feel right, or that certain like boho style makes me look so much bigger than I am. Um, and I've got to a point where I think even if I was 10 years younger, you know, if I was still 30 years old, I still think I'd feel this way. I don't think age has a lot to do with it, but I think age is making me think about it a bit more. That, you know, if somebody was to say, ask me on a date tomorrow, I would say no because I wouldn't have a clue what to wear, how to do my hair, what accessories to put on, or anything like that. I literally feel like an alien has come and taken over the person that used to inhabit this body. Does that make sense? Like, I always used to get excited about getting dressed and excited about shopping for new season clothing and stuff like that. And now I can't remember the last clothes that I bought were for this holiday, and I bought some baggy t-shirts and a couple of pairs of leggings because I just wanted stuff that I could chuck on without thinking about it and I knew would look okay. Um, but if you asked me to put sort of like a smart outfit together or a fashionable outfit together, I genuinely wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't know where to start. Okay, just to catch you up, I've just used my Primark bronze whip to bronze up my face, and then I've used my Makeup Revolution Precise Contour and Highlight Stick just on my cheeks, nose, and around my mouth. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of blush. This is the Fast Base Blush Stick from Makeup Revolution in the shade Spice. This is super pigmented, so I'm not going to use too much of this, but I do want like a nice red watermelon sort of cheek. There we go. And I'm just going to clean up underneath my contour using my e.l.f. Instant Brightening Concealer pen. And I'm also going to set my face, just keeping it simple today. And I'm just going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, spritz some setting spray, and then I'll come back and we'll do eyes. Okay, I've just added a few strokes from my Builder Brow from Maybelline, and I'm just going to do my bronzer. And because the Primark Bronze Whip is quite strong, I'm just going to go with the Bronzer Reloaded from Makeup Revolution in the shade Holiday Romance. This is definitely more glow than it is like bronze. So I'm just going to dust some of this on. And then I'm just going to spray some of the I Heart Revolution fixing spray in the shade Guava and Rose. Okay, so I've just added some of the No Budge Shadow Stick from e.l.f. in the shade Rose Gold. And now to start this eye look off, I'm going to be going in with the Makeup Revolution Pro Visionary Gel Eyeliner in the shade Azure, which is just this beautiful azure blue, and I'm going to just like scribble it along my upper and lower lash lines and sort of smudge it out and get something kind of like messy and lived in. And as I was off camera sort of thinking about, you know, what I've been talking about, I definitely feel that confidence has a lot to do with these feelings, like this disconnection from like my sense of style. And I know that a lot of that has been caused by my health, you know, my body letting me down, has definitely left me feeling very uncertain of myself and how I look and things like that. And it also makes doing anything about things really difficult. So like, I know some of my problems would be helped if I was to lose a little bit of weight. Now, weight is a very touchy subject. It is for me particularly, and I certainly don't come from that field of belief that you have to be in a smaller body to feel confident and feel good about yourself, because I've always been confident and I've always been pretty much the same size, but perhaps I've gained perhaps about 1 to 3 stone since about 2020. And I would love to be able to lose that I have gained, but doing so when you have all these different limitations and health concerns is really fucking hard. You know, it's not. It always makes me laugh that people think it's just so easy, you know, to lose this way. And, you know, let's get things clear and straight. If losing weight was really easy, then nobody would be overweight, would they? And yes, there are ways to make it happen quicker and easier, but I don't necessarily want to go down those routes. There's already serious stress put on my body from the disease that I have to put further on it and potentially cause me further problems would be irresponsible. Um, so it's just, yeah, like I say, I'm not coming from this at a standpoint of I need to lose weight to feel better. But I do think if I could lose what I've gained over the last few years, then I probably would start feeling a little bit better in myself, like confidence wise. But I also don't think that would help me with the whole fashion issue that I'm having, because that is definitely not got anything to do with my body size, because I've always dressed a bigger body. It's just I've completely lost the sense of who I am and my identity. And I think when I reached 40, I think I expected this like shift to happen where I would accept myself and I would know myself and I would have this sort of like awakening moment. And it didn't happen. What did happen was more of an awareness of why that I feel this way, how this has happened, and a desire to want it to be different, but also I think I lost a bit of I'd stopped caring so much about other people's perceptions of me. Um, and like this conversation that I'm having is absolutely nothing to do with anybody else. It's definitely it's a me thing. It's me that would like to feel differently, and it's me that would like to know what my sense of style is and how to dress myself and things like that. And I have thought about a lot about doing this like color analysis and going for like a proper color analysis session and a style analysis session, but I don't know whether that would help or it would just make me feel worse. So yeah, I'm going to go in with the Tasty Watermelon palette now, and I'm going to go with the shade Sunshine, and I'm just going to messily buff that through my crease. So a lot of this that I'm talking about is me just sort of like thinking out loud. I definitely haven't got any solutions to any of these problems. You know, I'm not coming here to say this is how I'm feeling and I've figured it all out and this is what I'm going to be doing. I haven't figured anything out. I just know that I'm a little bit lost when it comes to fashion and style. I genuinely feel like I haven't got a clue how to dress myself anymore. I feel like I need to go back to when I was a very young child. You know, when your mum used to put your outfit out on the bed for you when you were really little. Like, I stopped doing that really early. I used to demand to pick my own outfits. But I feel like I need to go back to that. Mum, pick my clothes for the day, pick my outfit for me because I haven't got a clue. Um, but I know that like most people, they plan their outfit first and then they build their makeup around what they're going to wear for the day. I'm the opposite. Like, I know more about what makeup look I want to do and how I want my makeup to turn out, and then I'll just at the last minute before I'm going out the door grab something from the wardrobe to put on. I am definitely more sure of makeup than I am of what to wear for the day. Okay, now I'm gonna go for I run the risk of this going muddy, mixing with the blue, but I'm going to go for this shade Poolside here, and I'm going to work that through the crease, and then I'm going to reinforce the blue, I think. I've also recognised, I think there is definitely a shift in like social medias, like fashion content as well these days. I don't think there's such a clear definition of what is on trend, what is fashionable. I don't think there's such an obvious distinction anymore. I'm just going to go back in with the yellow and just add that to the outer perimeter of that red. Okay, and now I'm going to reinforce the blue. Okay, this is definitely like messy, grungy, colourful, but I'm kind of enjoying that. Now I'm going to go in with these beautiful turquoisey blue greens. And the first one I'm going to go for is this shade Stripes. And I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to put that. Yes, that's pretty. And I hope this is giving Becky the turquoise fix that she was after. And I'm adding it sort of here on the outer corner as well. That's fun. Okay, and then in the inner part, I'm going to go for this shade here, Freeze. And I'm going to try using my brush for that. It is picking up okay. And I'm going to apply that under here as well. That has more of like a lilac-y purple reflect in it. I'm definitely feeling a lot freer tonight and like just slap colour wherever. Alright, let's clean up a little bit. I felt some of that shadow hit my cheek. Okay, and then in the inner corner, I'm going to take the Tasty Avocado palette and I'm going to pop this lightest one here. I didn't end up needing this as much as I thought. It's not picking up. Okay, it's feeling kind of editorial messy and I'm kind of living for it. What I'm going to do is go away, pop some of that blue liner in my waterline, curl my lashes, put on a load of black mascara, and then we'll come back to finish. Okay, so that is the eyes done. Very dramatic, very editorial, very not my speed, but fun. I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. I will put some photographs up because I do think photographs capture like looks like this a lot better. Just to finish off my cheeks, I'm going to go in with the Bouncy Blur blush from Revolution in the shade Light as a Cloud Peachy Pink, and sitting here doing my mascara in the quiet. Literally all you can hear is the sea crashing against the rocks, and I was sitting here listening to that and I was thinking, you know, when you hear that and you realise, you know, what you have and how lucky you are and things like that, not really knowing how to dress or what your personal style is anymore really pales into insignificance. So yeah, for my lips I'm keeping it very simple because the eyes are so much a statement. I'm going to be going in with the Revolution Pout Liner Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Chauffeur Nude. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the Jelly Blush in the shade Peach. And then a little bit of the gloss stick from Revolution in the shade Sweet Rose. And there we go. Little bit of a random makeup therapy session, but thank you so much for joining me today, guys, and for sitting through this and listening to me waffle. I'm sorry I didn't give you anything useful in this video. I just wanted to talk about some things that had been on my mind lately. And as you are all my besties, who better to do it with? So this is the look. Becky, I hope this satisfied your need for some turquoise eyeshadow. it matches the headband. But yeah, that's my look. Just a bit of fun and a bit of therapy, and makeup has always been my biggest therapy. Thanks so much for watching, lovely, and I'll see you in my next video.